Hi, this is Dennis, Whiskey November 4 Alpha Zulu Yankee, author of Logic. This evening I'm going to demonstrate how to do a clean, fresh reinstall of Logic. And while doing this, make sure we don't lose our current setup or data or anything, okay? Also, we'll take a few shortcuts so I don't have to go back and find my latest Logic subscription that I downloaded and that I kept a copy of, or that, and then have to update that. I'm just going to save a copy. I'm going to reinstall the latest update directly. I'll show you how to do that too. So even if you don't need to reinstall, there will be some other helpful little tricks and tips that you can learn from this video. When might you need to reinstall? The reason I'm making this video right now is for a customer who was using a third-party CW keying device that has been working fine for a year or more and just suddenly locks up every so often. So, could be, I'm kind of suspecting, of course I'd be biased here, but I'm kind of suspecting that it's the hardware that's gotten soft, and it's usually what happens when something quits working like that. But, you never know. It could be that something in Logic got corrupted, and, so just to eliminate that possibility, it's very easy to do a complete clean reinstall of Logic and, eliminate any, corruption or any issues like that. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, I'm here in my Program Files x86 window. I'm going to make a copy. This is my Logic folder. Everything that I install Logic, it goes right here by default. You can install it other places. We have videos on installing it on network drives and cloud drives and stuff like that, so it's automatically backed up, which is neat. But anyway, wherever Logic is installed, if it's not in this location here, you'll know because you purposely installed it somewhere else. I'm going to go here. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to, just paste, need to provide administrator permission. Okay. Now I have, my original Logic and a copy of Logic. And, if I do a reinstall, clean install, it doesn't fix the problem. Okay, well, I've got to get a new hardware device or whatever. I can just, put this back. I can, rename this to something else, rename it to, Logic 2, rename this back to Logic, and it'll pick up and work, okay? But for right now, let me go ahead. I'm going to uninstall Logic. Before I do that, though, I need something to reinstall. So let me go ahead and run Logic. Before I uninstall it. Okay, and here's over on the other monitor. Help check for updates, okay? And, okay, so we retain the file after installation. That'll let me download this file here and let me keep that so that I can reinstall that. I won't be able to go to help and check for updates if Logic isn't installed. I won't have any way to install this. So let me go ahead and I'll just click the install button, and there it's downloading it. And notice I hold my mouse over here. You probably can't. I can't see it either. There it says. It just says it put it on the desktop. Okay. Setups determine Logic's running. Please, I don't really want to reinstall anyway, so I'll just cancel out. Okay, I have the file I need. I'm going to go ahead and quit out of this. And right there is my Logic update. You can see that's all I need to install Logic, along with a couple other things here. So here's the Logic copy. My log data is in here. Log DBF, log FPT, all my INI and config files. It's all in here. It's everything I need. But the other file that I'll need, I'll just point it out here, is the logic.license. This allows you to run logic, um, you know, otherwise, I mean, if you know what you're doing, you can download that logic update 10.0.5. Anybody in the world, if they know what they're doing, could potentially download that. And of course, we're not independently wealthy by any means, so we appreciate the income from Logic. And so this is how, we allow paying customers to use the program, and at the same time, not restrict really who can download it. So, you can download the updates of the update plus the license file. You've got a complete copy of Logic. You don't need to go, updating anything or installing your last subscription download and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to close that. I really probably could just delete this now, but let me go ahead and do a proper uninstall. So I go here. Oh, one other thing. Let's suppose that your, Logic isn't running quite right, or you missed a file, or you blew something away by mistake, or just sometimes a lot of problems can be fixed by reinstalling the latest update. And suppose you can't get into Logic to run it for some reason. Chances are your data is still there and everything. It's okay. Just, so if you get in some kind of where you're dead looks like you're dead in the water situation, just reinstall the latest update. And you can actually do that without being able to get into Logic. You go into your Start menu, go to Logic and Logic Updater. And, there it just kind of runs that external from Logic. So I could, delete logic.exe and still run that. So just something else that's not really relevant here, but, not necessary here, but it is relevant. I thought I would show you. Okay, so I'm going to install now. I'll go to here, Logic. Uninstall Logic. Okay, it says, are you sure you want to uninstall Logic? Your data will not be removed. It keeps you from accidentally, blowing your log away if you, from uninstalling Logic. If you make sure that you keep a copy of your data. I'm going to click yes, and over my other monitor here is my main monitor. I'm recording a secondary monitor. The main one is where that's going to pop up. And there's a bar moving across the window, and it's too quick for me to really move it over here. But it says Logic was successfully removed from your computer. So I say, okay. Tells me your log data was not removed. Okay. So I go into my Logic folder now. Sure enough, just about everything is gone. There's my log data stuff. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and blow this away. So now it's just like Logic was never on my computer, okay? Okay, so now it's time to do the clean reinstall. I have my Logic update right here. I just double click that and run it. And let's go next. Choose where to install it. Since it's a clean install, I just take the default location. By the way, if you want to move Logic to a different drive or something, this would be a way to do it too. You want to uninstall it just like we did here, reinstall it, and then you could change your your default installation folder here, and then you could copy your Logic backup stuff into it. So that's another reason to uninstall and reinstall is to change the installation location. And by the way, the installation location is not necessarily where your data is. Normally we keep everything in one nice package, so we can copy and paste and back everything up easily, but you can keep Logic installed at one place and data is, for different logs, different purposes at different locations. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, just take all the defaults here, install. There's always some other stuff over here. Okay, so it's asked if I want to launch Logic 10. Okay, I'll launch Logic 10. Uh-oh, get an error. No license file found. I can attempt to continue, say no. So I need to get a license file. So I go to, I clicked up here to kind of get the folders back in order so here's the new one we just installed. Here's my backup of everything. So I'll go to logic.license, copy that. And by the way, if you have a file where you keep, wherever you keep your Logic, use a flash drive with your latest Logic subscription on it, you can just keep a copy of the license file there too, because, that way you can reinstall everything without having to, update the, whatever we sent with the update subscription. Okay, so there I've got logic.license. Let me go ahead and run Logic. Okay, I've just got a fresh copy of Logic here. Doing all the initial setup stuff. Put in my call. Okay, draw a map, sure. Okay, so I've got an empty log now. I can go ahead and set up. Usually put one QSO in, just to, Okay, and I can go tools and set up, and I can go in here and set up, my rigs. I can go to forms and key or set all that up and everything. And, get Logic working. And, okay, I'm going to cancel that. So I do whatever testing I need to do. I don't know why that's there. Okay. Tools and forms and keyer, WinKeyer, whatever I want to do, I can just do it. I've got, brand new copy of Logic help about 10.0.5. Okay, so let's suppose that this fixed the problem, okay, and I want to get my data back. Okay, I mean, I could, and there's, on the website, under installation and upgrading, there's kind of a list of stuff you can copy from, from our backup here to, to the real installation of Logic, to, the different config files and everything. But let's say we're just going to be super conservative and just bring our log data across. So I'm going to go to Tools and Import Log Data. Go to Logic 5 through 9. I have to change that to say 5 through 10 now. So I go to C:\program files. That's 86. Copy of Logic. Logic copy. Log data. Log DBF. Okay. So it just imported my data, and so there I've got, I only had one QSO in there to begin with, but anyway, there, okay, that actually, I didn't have any data in here to begin with, but that's how I would restore that. This was a copy of Logic I was actually playing around with. It's not my actual copy, but, excuse me. Now let's suppose that Okay, we installed, we did the clean install. It didn't solve the problem. We want to put everything back the way it is. We're sorry that we ever did this clean install. Okay, so all we have to do, okay, is go down here. I can delete that. Okay. And I still have this. Rename it just back to logic. And, okay. And then I can just carry on like I always have. Doesn't even want to do a clean or anything. It's just, good to go. So anyway, that's how to do a reinstallation, the clean install, how to roll back to where you were, that kind of thing. And by the way, I just kind of like to, keep a copy. Just every once in a while, make a copy here. Logic has a neat built-in facility for backing up the QSOs, the important data, but there's other stuff too that take time to set up, and I've got a copy of all of that as long as I do that. So, okay, appreciate it, and check in with us on the forum if you have any questions.